Helping Victims of Domestic Violence, HVDV, is a charity based in Chippenham who run a Christmas appeal to provide presents in shoeboxes for children who are in refuge. Arranged with outreach workers across Wiltshire, the aim is to give the children gifts at Christmas that they may not otherwise have received after fleeing domestic violence, known as DV.
A lot of the families, if they've moved recently, obviously when they first move into their homes, they move into empty shells. A lot of them don't have family support because they have to flee from their families as well, because obviously if there is DV, sometimes the perpetrators will try and get involved with the families. So obviously they have nothing. So by having the Christmas appeal, it takes a bit of a pressure off of the family, because obviously with a mum or a dad who are starting out first at Christmas, who want to buy stuff for the children, they find it difficult. So by people giving across Wiltshire helps these families.
I believe in giving something back, in the fact of I knew what I didn't have. I had a property with nothing in it. I had a lovely neighbour that supported and helped me. But if I can help one survivor to stay as a survivor, then that's a bonus.
Kevin set up the charity 2 years ago after surviving domestic abuse himself, and the charity is run entirely by volunteers.
I think all of them, apart from one, are actual DV survivors. So nobody is paid, so no money actually goes into that. So everything that we raise, 100% of that money gets ploughed back into the victims to help them.
Last year, the charity secured £30,000 by bagpacking in local supermarkets, but that way of raising revenue no longer exists.
We don't have a van of our own, which was one of our biggest things. When we raised the £30,000, we wanted to go for a van and buy our own van. We then had to choose, do we continue to run the charity for another year, or do we go out and buy a van? And running the charity for another year was the most important thing to us. So we run the charity for a further year. We're now back at the stage where we still have no van. We hire. We do get a brilliant discount from the hire company that we hire from. But nevertheless, it's costing us on average between £250 to £350 per family that we move.
The charity has helped rehouse 137 Wiltshire families so far this year, giving them support to get back on their feet.
Most items are donated by members of the public, and we use social media a lot to get the items in, but there are items that we actually buy brand new, like duvets, kettles, because obviously the water in the area is quite hard, so kettles don't last, toasters, microwaves, cups, plates, dishes, anything that we don't have donated at the time, we will go out and buy. And what happens is, when the victims are in the refuge or they're in another place, they write a wish list, and they write on the wish list everything they want. If you can imagine taking every bit of furniture out of your home and just having an empty shell, that is what they move into. So they go from a refuge being excited because they've now got a key to a property. They then open the door, and once again their world falls apart because they've now got to worry, not got a cup to drink out of, not got anywhere for my child to sleep on. So we get them to write a wish list, and we'll go through that wish list, and 9 times out of 10 we will cover everything they have on the wish list. So we give them a house. Our main priorities when we move them is somewhere for them to sleep, so definitely a bed, a TV, which most people would say, well, that's a luxury, but no, it's not, because they're so stressed and there's so much going on. They've just moved into a property. They've got no money because they now have to pay 2 weeks rent in advance, which didn't happen in old times. So they just want to get on and organise things. So if you've got a child and they've not got any toys or anything, then a TV is ideal, because you can put them in front of the telly and they'll watch telly, and it's pretty good.
As part of the Christmas appeal, instead of a shoebox, the option for people donating is also a gift bag if they prefer.
It's up to the families and children who are making them really what they want to put in them. We just ask obviously for no balloons because of allergies, and any sweets or any chocolate containing nuts are the only things we say not to put in.
The Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Service say that they're proud to have 4 Christmas shoebox collection points at Swindon, Chippenham, Salisbury and Trowbridge fire stations.
They're 24-hour stations supporting us, which you can find on our website, and we have other shops in different areas across Wiltshire, like Marlborough, Chippenham, Keln, Corsham, Melksham Devizes, Trowbridge.
The closing date for the shoeboxes or gift bags this year is the 4th of December. Shan Robbins, That's TV.